Hello, and welcome to the first edition of Lemonade Edition. Let me just explain what we're doing here. For the next couple of months, I will watch and review a movie from the IMDb's worst rated list. But I can only talk about the things I liked about that film, thus making lemonade out of lemons. The pile of crap for this week is a movie called BARB WIRE, starring Pam Anderson and has a rating of 3.3. I did not watch this sober. This movie takes place in the dystopian future of 2017 during the Second American Civil War. Barbara Kopetsky, aka Barb Wire, owns a nightclub and occasionally moonlights as a bounty hunter ? But when her former boyfriend Axel asks her for help, Pam turns into Pambo. So the first thing you need to understand is that when Baywatch came out, I was just hitting puberty. So Pam Anderson was like a golden goddess to me. I don't know. I guess I haven't changed much. The movie is based on a comic book, which ended its run shortly after the release of this film, and I thought casting Pamela Anderson was pure genius. She is insanely hot and wears so many skimpy outfits in this film, it completely distracts from the story, and that's pretty clever. So the best part of the film by far is the opening scene where Pam is dancing half naked while being sprayed with a hose. I watched this part twice. Okay, maybe more. Now ladies, if it seems like I'm objectifying her, that's because I am. But now picture that scene with Chris Hemsworth. That's what I thought. I also like that the movie is campy as hell. Everything is wonderfully exaggerated, like the bad guys, who are dressed as straight up Nazis. I'm pretty sure that was a clever way to cut down on the costume design. I suspect they borrowed the costumes that the studio already owned, like in the show Firefly, where they repurposed the armor from Starship Troopers. It's a pretty clever way to stretch the budget of the movie. And speaking of campy, this film has a couple of real cheesy one-liners.
Don't call me babe.
I want that in a movie like this. It wouldn't feel right without them. One thing about this movie you might notice immediately. Well, actually you notice two things immediately. But the other thing you notice immediately is that this movie has a lot of Dutch angles. Normally I really hate those, but let's say you pulled a neck muscle and you can only watch television like this. See where I'm going with this? Now in a dystopian future movie you gotta have creepy looking character actors, and this movie has two. Udo Kier, who plays Barb's butler, and Bryce Dallas Howard's creepy Uncle Clint. Both of them do a great job. By the way, this has been a wonderful time killer for me. I thought this character was a young, uncredited Ben Mendelsohn. So I went on a long Google search, and as it turns out, it's not him. But I enjoyed the investigation. Lemonade. There was one flashback scene that made me laugh real hard. It's a scene that involves Barb as a soldier. It's really funny, almost like a scene out of a porn parody. The best action scenes are at the climax of the film. A lot of things blow up and the pyrotechnics are excellent. There's even a pretty good fight scene on top of a crane with stunt people. No green screen, this was the 90s, so they actually shot this. And then of course, the way the main bad guy dies in this movie is as 90s as it gets. Barbed Wire might be one of the worst movies of all time, but Pam Anderson is very easy on the eyes and it definitely has its moments. And that's how you make lemonade. So in case you want to watch these movies before I release the video, next week I'll be making lemonade out of Mac and Me, which, and this is true, I've never seen. So that should be fun. Alright, who needs a drink?